Here we are. Here we are. Well, it's Friday night.
It is finally Friday night.
I know it's only Friday night. It's been a week. It's been a week, but hey.
Our audio is strange. Are you hearing that?
No. What are you hearing?
Like it's an echo.
Yeah, nope, not hearing it.
Weird.
Yep, that's weird. Well, we haven't been live since we've been back from the conference. So that's what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about all the fun things that happened at the conference. And we have got David with us tonight and Shane, and they're going to get on here and tell you guys about all the fun things we did too. And we'll try not to laugh too hard tonight.
Yeah.
So, hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we caught you on that one.
We had fun at the conference.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
I got a shirt.
He's got a shirt. He's got proof he was there, right? Proof
Yes.
he was there. Exactly. So, David,
Yes.
since this is your first first time you came to my conference and my camp out afterwards, just kind of give everybody some of your thoughts on it, as opposed to, the other ones where you just go for a day, you're at a conference.
Okay, yeah. So I hadn't been to that many. So this was new because it was done slightly different. Only in that the speakers you lined up were actually trying to bring a little validity to it, things to actually talk about, some of the research they were conducting. Of course, I haven't been to that many, like I said before, so I have limited experience. But usually it's let's bring the famous people in from the shows, things like that. So for me, for my background, it was really nice to see the direction that this was going in. It kind of reaffirmed that maybe I did want to keep trying to do this. I know there were some moments leading up to this conference where I was wondering if I just wanted to stay back behind the scenes and just continue doing research. But it ended up being a really good thing and opened my mind a little to see that not everybody was like some of my past experiences.
Right.
Shane.
Wow, that didn't take long. Just throw you under the bus.
All I heard coming was a horn.
Exactly. Well, and you and Shane got to spend some time together, and he got to share his, how he goes about doing his research. So I know that you really enjoyed that and got some insight from that also.
I did. I can spend all day, like on YouTube channels and, and to some degree you can get some information there, but, for the most part, they're designed to be entertaining, stuff like that. But getting to walk off into the woods, stop, sit down on the side of a hill and chat about research techniques, different ideas, different theories, and, bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other. That was a little bit more what I was looking for. So
Exactly.
that was extremely beneficial. And I like the way Shane thinks and the way he does things. He's not quick to jump the gun. He's actually quick to say, I don't know. And that means a lot to me. So I enjoyed my time. I don't want it to be weird, dude. I know we were walking in the woods can you ask someone else a question?
It was good. I enjoyed hanging out with David. He was, having somebody with his mindset and his background and his experience it's good to have people like him involved within this subject. And of course, we did talk about a lot of stuff. And like you said, like there was times we just stopped and took a little breather and sat down. And of course we would start chatting about, Bigfoot things and research and whatnot. And he had questions and I just gave him the answers that I could. But it's like, when it comes down to it, you know how it is, Mary. It's like you have answers for a little while and then you're like, well, no, I was wrong.
I got more questions.
And then you think you have another answer and then you're like, well, I was wrong again, so it's like this subject is your thought process is almost ever changing, and every now and then you get a little nugget, and those nuggets are what kind of keep us going. We don't find no chest of gold. We find little nuggets, and those nuggets keep us searching for the treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I hear is your, theories, hypothesis, testing them, finding information, reforming that hypothesis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's science. You're just worded differently.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Like an imbecile.
That's not what I meant, Jane.
Like a backwoods dude.
No.
Did you just say redneck? Jeez. But anyway, no, I really enjoyed meeting David and somebody with his mindset and getting to see how other people cast tracks. David did a little deal on casting and so I learned a couple things and that made me want to change the way I'm casting. And we actually talked about some other things, possibilities when it comes to casting. So, yeah, I learned some stuff from David, and he thinks that he learned some things from me.
I did.
So it was great meeting him and hanging out with him. I had a good time with him and a lot of laughs. That's half the battle for me, is if I can't laugh with somebody, I probably won't hang out with them.
Right, exactly. Right. And we did do a lot of laughing of it. And David seemed to have a hard time keeping up with his glasses out there for whatever reason.
I found my third pair.
Oh my God.
It was hanging on a hanger inside the truck for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, his glasses just kept mysteriously disappearing out there,
Well, I mean, to be fair, people were stealing them.
Now they were always returned, so that's not stealing. We just temporarily lifted them from you.
After about 20-25 minutes, yeah.
David was talking about picking my brain. I got to pick his brain a little bit too about DNA because, I don't know anything. Well, I shouldn't say anything. I've done a lot of research about DNA and I'm interested in it and whatnot, not just on this subject, but in general. But David, kind of gave me a lot of good advice when it comes to collecting DNA evidence and like some things that I thought were, wrong, and some ways that I thought needed to be done aren't necessarily needed. So I got to pick his brain on that stuff, which is, may help me in the future or anybody that's with me if something is found, so it was a good eclectic mix of people this year. It really was.
Yeah, we had a phenomenal camp out. I mean, the interactions that were going on and just the amount of stories that were shared and the information, like you
don't
said,
forget the food.
It was just a real cohesive group around the fire, and it was just kind of no stress and just.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody, we were sitting around the fire a lot and sharing stories and, talking about how everybody does things individually. And then, we had a lot of new people. This is the first time they'd ever been out. So they actually were getting to learn boots on the ground. And, personally, I think that's, they're going to go home with a lot of information now to where if they want to do it by themselves, they have a direction to go in. They're not just wandering around out there, So that's one of the things that I think is phenomenal, because no matter who we have speak at these things, taking these people out afterwards and do boots on the ground with them is half the battle to getting to teach people how to do things right. We can sit in a hall all day and tell them things, but until we take them out and show them,
right,
it's a whole different story. Absolutely. Absolutely. So back to the DNA. My question is, why are we screwing it up? Or, are we going to go down the conspiracy theory hole here? We're constantly told it's contaminated. It's been contaminated.
Who's telling you that? So my first question when I hear people say that is, if you press them and ask them what lab they sent it to and ask for the report that they get back from the actual lab, I haven't been able to find any of those reports yet.
Really?
It always turns out to, oh, well, it wasn't me. It was a friend of mine who sent it off. Let me see if I can try to get that report for you. Darby Orcutt's been doing a big DNA study, and him, Cliff Barrickman, they've all been trying to find out where these labs are that people are saying they're sending the stuff off to be tested, and they're getting, these conflicting reports. But there hasn't seemed to be like an actual name of a lab that we can narrow down. It's always something got lost, someone was holding on to it. But I've not actually seen or heard of anybody getting an actual report, like something from NMS Labs or Pure Gold Forensics, one of those big names. They'll test it. You pay the money, they'll test it. There's no conspiracy there.
Right. Absolutely.
You just pay the money, send it off. It's getting tested. So I don't know, where these things are coming from.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's just kind of one of those things in the Bigfoot community that you've heard for so long, is you get that, oh, well, it was contaminated, the humans contaminated it. And it's like, and that you just hear that all the time. It's like, okay, so let's say that, what are we doing wrong then? If we're collecting hair samples, because I heard you say when you were out there and we were talking about it, that gets washed.
Yes.
So it's like, even if you did pick it up with your fingers, when they do finally, examine it, they've washed it, right?
Yeah, they're gonna, if we're talking about hair, they're gonna end up basically washing the outside, and they're gonna be going for the DNA that's on the interior. So it technically doesn't matter on something like this or even a homicide. If it comes back with some type of weird thing, you're going to get blasted for touching it without sterile gloves or sterile instruments. So it should be a good habit anyway, just so you don't have to deal with that fallout should something happen. But just knowing that on the back end, but I would still say if people are saying something's contaminated, came back contaminated, then that means they have an official report. I would like to see them.
Yeah.
I would like to see what labs are doing this, but I hadn't seen anybody actually showing them. So I don't know. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I haven't been seeing people post up these actual reports from the labs. It's just them saying it.
Right. And that's, am I not right there, Shane, where we've heard that for years, that, oh, it was contaminated.
Oh, yeah. I've heard it at least 4, 5, 6 times over the years.
Yeah. And like he said, you never hear what lab did it. It's just when you ask someone about it again, oh, well, it came back contaminated. It was, there was human DNA in it, so it was contaminated. But yet we don't know where what lab it came from.
But, nobody's asking them that follow-up question, though, either.
No, we haven't known to until now.
No one's asked, like, well, what lab? What could I see the report?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand why that next question doesn't come. We're quick to. I think they like the mystery. It keeps the mystery going.
Yeah.
And in a strange way, it validates their findings by not asking those follow-up questions. Like we want to keep believing, so we're not going to push it and find out that people are hoaxing or making up stuff. We don't want to do that.
Right. But now it's like, okay, now okay, guess what, people? Now you need to ask, okay, what lab did you send it to? Can I see your report? I mean, that's something that for me, I didn't even think about to ask that. I mean, when you have somebody say, well, it was contaminated. Okay. I mean, I just wasn't in the mindset of going, okay, well, can I see the report? And what lab did you get the report from? Yeah.
I'd like to see what kind of testing they did too. There's all different types of ways to extract DNA, types of testing you can do once you have that DNA. I'd love to know what kinds of testing, and what did they do once they extracted it? Did they even have access to a database to run what they found? Because most of those labs don't. It's just, I extract, well, not most, some labs don't. And then they have to send it off to someone else to input it. And that's going to cost more money as well.
Oh,
yeah. Well,
everything costs.
And if I'm correct, when they test the mitochondrial side, which is normally what they test first, unless you specify and pay more money, when they test the mitochondrial, it's typically a very, very minute portion of the mitochondrial that actually test.
You're talking about the mitochondrial DNA that's recovered from inside the hair shaft or the follicle?
Yeah. When they run the actual.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
Again, depending on the amount of money you have, depending on the lab, some labs, like even our state crime lab doesn't have, like they won't go that far looking for mitochondrial within hair. They're going to go for the root, follicle, what have you, whatever you want to call it. They're going to go for that. And if it's not there, then they're not even going to bother. The more expensive labs will go for the mitochondrial on the inside, but then, I mean, you're not getting an entire profile. Remember that on mitochondrial side. The nuclear DNA, that's the yes, thank God we found it. That is going to be few and far between left inside of dead hair, right? I mean, it's sporadic. There's hardly any left in there, and what was there is probably killed off by the UV rays from the hair being outside, things like that. UV rays will kill DNA just like that. So
wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
It all depends on how long the hair's been there, and that's probably what some of the problems are too. If there really are hairs going off to labs, they've been sitting outside for any length of time, getting rained on, sunshine on it. That DNA that's left in there is like degrading fairly quickly. So sometimes it's just not contaminated, but just there wasn't much to
useful.
get. Yeah.
Well, I got a bag of hair to show you, David, when you get here.
I'm not interested in seeing your weird hair collection.
One of the weirder things you've ever said, Marianne.
Would you collect your dog
said
hair?
Weird shit.
No. Let's back that up a little bit. Okay. We were on private property and Shane was with me. And this guy gives me this big chunk of hair, and he doesn't know what it is. He's not saying it's Bigfoot. He just doesn't know what it is. Now, he doesn't have like cattle or horses or anything like that. They have dogs, but this obviously is way too long for dog hair. But yeah, that's some of the things we get. People are like, hey, take this bag of hair.
And it was a bag of hair.
Yes. It wasn't a strand or two. It's a bag of hair.
Well, Shane, what did you think about the bag of hair? What did you think it was?
I wondered if his wife was missing first.
Or an ex-girlfriend. The wife was there. It might have been an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's long. What's in this bag is long. My first thought was horsehair, like out of the tail or the mane, because
that was kind of my thought also.
It has that consistency, that texture,
Mm-hmm.
But who knows, it's interesting for sure. I mean, at least I don't have scat in a Splenda box in my
Oh.
freezer.
Oh Lord.
That's I know.
What's wrong with that?
To each
It
his own,
molded.
David.
Oh, nice.
You never eat anything out of our freezers.
Yeah, I had some scat in my freezer for about a year, and I
Oh.
finally threw it away. Just nowhere to send it at the
Like,
time.
is that scat or those chipotle peppers I froze?
Yeah.
What is that? I'm gonna make chili.
I'm gonna make some chili with that. Oh,
Y'all
my
are
goodness.
gross.
Oh,
Uh,
David, hang around for a while.
Yeah, hang around, David. Hang around a little while. No, actually, I don't have anything in my freezer right now. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. I just have a bag of hair. That's all I have. Right
Yeah.
In your
That's
freezer?
probably evidence from a homicide, like Shane said. At least you're preserving it correctly.
Right,
Paul.
right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this has gone awry real fast here.
I always tell Mary Ann that I ask no questions, but I have a shovel in a trunk. What do you need?
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that for you.
Yeah. Hey, I got a shovel and a
It kind of goes
nondescript.
against
Yeah,
everything you present.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. We know where the local pig farm's at. We're all good.
Oh, my
Love.
God.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Ooh, that's
So-
gross.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know about that, but
It's
So-
making a mental note of all these little things.
I'm
right.
recording the whole thing.
Yeah. David's like, okay, I know exactly.
We've got GPS on us right now.
Right, right.
Oh, I have her home address.
Yeah, he's like, I know exactly. Hey, I had this gentleman, he's in the FBI, and it was actually, he thought I was out with Shane. Shane was posting some stuff when they were out, and he
Uh-oh.
texts me and he's like, are you guys somewhere you shouldn't be? And I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? He's like, are you with Shane right now? No, I'm not with Shane right now. He goes, oh, okay. He goes, well, because I can pinpoint exactly where he's at off what he's putting up right now. I was like, no.
Shane, what are you doing that the FBI is asking questions about your brother?
I can't answer that question on here.
Previous comment. We are recording.
Right? No comment.
All right.
And you're
Fair.
recording this.
Fair enough.
Right?
Sometimes
Exactly.
people slip. Just saying.
Oh, it was just funny though. But Shane
Go,
was-
guys.
Yeah, right. He was posting some stuff. Him and Randy were out, and he was just posted. And this guy's like, I can exactly pinpoint where he's at right now. And I'm like, okay, thanks. I will remember that. If we ever lose anybody, I will get a hold of you immediately.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, immediately. You'll be
somebody.
the first person that I'm getting a hold of since you can track us through our posts. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was pretty funny. But no, he's a super nice guy. He was just like, I just want to make sure you guys are not trying to keep it secret or something because it's real easy to do. And I'm like, not that when they're not. No. It was somewhere else. I think you guys were down in Oklahoma or something when you were doing that. So yeah, but yeah, it's pretty
Mary
funny.
Ann,
Yes.
why didn't we find Bigfoot when we were in the Ozarks? I'm a little
Well,
disappointed.
I don't
Shane,
know that
kinda
we
your fault
didn't have some activity that one morning, but you were in nicely, snuggled up in your camper. So you weren't privy to the, what was going on around the tent at, I don't know, what Larry
Wild-
say that was about
wild
3 in the
goings on.
morning that it was over there. He had something.
Who?
He's Larry. So Larry's was camped right next to Robert and I's tent. He would, because RPG was in one side, Brian was in one side, and Larry was closest to us. And about 3:30 in the morning, he could hear something walking around, and he said he thought it was somebody just, had gotten up to go to the, bathroom behind the tent. But he said it kept coming back and forth, and he finally said, "Hey, who's out there?" Kind of, and got no answer. And then he said he laid there for a little bit, has started to kind of doze off, and he said something came up and swiped down on the side of the tent. And he said it started about 3.5 feet up and went all the way down. And the next morning, RPG said he had been out, but now he was going the opposite direction from where Larry was at. So he was going on the other side of the tent. But he was talking about he had seen something back in that tree line right there when he was out. And that same evening, I had woken up, I was laying there, and there was this loud, it was like a pop. And I thought at first I thought it was Robert moving, but he never moved. And so then I was like, it sounded like something had slapped or was thrown at the side of the tent, because it was the tent, like popping back. So that was all around 3:30 in the morning one morning over there, just in between our two tents. So, and I think that was the very first night. Was that right? Do you remember, Shane?
It was the first night. Yeah.
Yeah, that was that very first night that was going on. And then, so am I right? Did you not ever get that scream that they heard in camp? That is so wild.
It did not show up. I have the recordings all the way through that time period, but there's nothing there.
Yeah, because Brandon was saying that they absolutely thought that it was us on the hill screaming, because it sounded like a woman. And we weren't even to the top of the hill, because we were walking a little ways. It was really steep, and stopping and letting a couple of people rest. And then, so it took us twice as long to get to the top of the hill. We weren't even at the top of the hill when that happened, because I think he said that happened probably within 15 minutes of us leaving camp, and we weren't to the top of the hill by then. So that's really wild that scream did not get picked up on anything, because Chris didn't get it on hers, and you didn't get it. And I think William had one. I'm not sure if his was out that night or not.
It wasn't.
Okay.
I've listened to all of his.
Okay. That's wild. I don't know why we wouldn't have gotten that. So that's definitely interesting. Yeah.
The only thing I got was coyote and several different types of owl.
Yeah, there's a lot of owls out there. We generally hear quite a few owls out there.
And there's dogs that bark incessantly.
Yes. At least the rooster wasn't crowing at like 3 a.m. like he did that one year.
No doubt.
Oh, thought we were going to have fried chicken.
Well,
it was ridiculous.
I would have put on my camo and gotten that rooster this year. That thing was irritating.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because it started about 3 a.m. and didn't stop till like 8. Yeah, its alarm
dude,
clock
your clock is off.
Yeah, exactly. But we lost him. Oh no, he said he was having issues with his internet, but anyway. So David, where were you the night that Chris and Gary had the light out there on the road? Were you just back up from them?
Was that? I think that was the last night, right?
Yes, that was the very last night.
I was, if you're looking at the map, I was southwest in Will's
Welcome
field
back.
behind his home.
Okay, down along the creek there?
Yes.
Okay.
Like all the way to the back of that field, then there's like a tree line that separates that field from that big giant one that we went to the first night.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you were back in there.
Yeah. I was nowhere near where I could have seen anything.
Okay. So yeah, Shane.
We saw a bunch of more armadillos out there. But we also had the small, I forgot his name, Olin.
The little boy, yeah.
Yes, he had, and his aunt had tagged along with me that night and caught up to me. So yeah, there was a lot of. I want to do things slightly different. It ended up doing like Shane's theory of being happy and jovial and kind of talking, and that that theory that he has going there. I was just curious if I could be more sneaky while everybody else was roaming around. That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna kind of do like the counter surveillance thing on everybody else, so I could see if I could see things coming towards them. But I did not get that opportunity. I even tried running. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that's great. It
did work out.
Didn't work out so good?
No, but it ended up, I mean, they're nice people, and I wasn't upset about it. But it just changed plans, that's all.
Right. Well, and I have to, that little boy was so good out there. I mean,
he really was.
How old was he?
And he was entertaining as all get out.
8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, Jennifer, he sings some creepy songs. And the vocabulary that he used during these songs is a little unnerving.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard part of it. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah. That was quite
talking about pickaxes and killing people.
Okay. Yeah. He had some horror movies in there, but so when we lost. Yeah, we lost you for a minute there, Shane. We were talking about that very last night you had to leave. So Chris and Gary were out on the road, and I believe they were just up the road a little ways from William's little shed out there he has. And she had turned around at one point, and she said it was like somebody was standing there with a flashlight. And when she thermed it, there was no signature. Nothing there. She said, if you looked at it through the therm, you couldn't see anything. If you took the therm down, you could see a light.
So we had a similar experience to that at Big Frog Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
It was 22 degrees outside. We were at an abandoned campsite, like just stone picnic tables or concrete picnic tables were left and nothing else. And obviously 22 degrees, middle of winter, we can see right down to the road where the truck is parked. It's quite a distance, but we were thinking about leaving, and out of nowhere, it looked like someone had walked up behind the truck and hit it with a flashlight. And I pulled out my thermal and looked down there and couldn't figure out there was nothing down there. So I actually ran down to the road and was scanning. I could not find out where that light came from. So I find it interesting that was the story. I knew they saw a light, but I didn't know that that's what had happened.
Yeah.
That mirrors almost exactly what happened, but I should have been able to get my therm on that at Big Frog Mountain because I saw where the light started. So I should have been able to get my thermal on. I should have seen something.
Right.
I'll tell you what made me more unnerved is that I thought maybe there was a person out there that could disappear like that fast. And I was like, oh my God, there's a mountain person out here that can disappear that fast. I don't want to scream like a pig. I was like, no.
It's like, it's time to go. It's time to go. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't piss off the mountain people.
Definitely. Right.
But yeah, it's a similar scenario. So I don't know what to make of that either.
Yeah, it didn't last very long for them either. They came back going, and Levi was over there, but I don't know how much of that, if he got to see it or if he came up. He was in that area because William was on the hill across the road with a couple of people. And what?
Now I understand his radio traffic. He came on the radio and he goes, Eli to David, did you see that light earlier?
Oh,
I said the light. He goes, yeah, by the shed. I'm like, how how long? Oh, no, I'm sorry. He goes, did you see that light? So I'm thinking it's happening right now. I
Right.
said, no. I said, where is it? He goes, at the shed. I said, when this happened? He goes, 10 minutes ago. And I was like, what the hell?
Delayed
Way to
reaction.
let me know. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, now I know why he asked me that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they were on the road and William had a couple of people was up on the hill. And I guess there had been some lights on the hill too. And they thought it was them at first and then realized it wasn't them. So there was lights on the hill. There were lights in the road, multiple things going on in that area at relatively the same time. So
are you talking about if you come out of camp and you turn right on that road? Are you
yes.
talking about that road right there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, we saw a flashlight over there.
Mm-hmm.
Further up, we had that big creek between the field and the road because the road's like up kind of high actually from right there. But yeah, we saw a flashlight and we were like, oh, we didn't know that they were coming this far over. So we were wondering if they were going to look out in the field and like see the figures out there with the thermal. And you're like, uh-oh. So I said, everybody duck down behind this grass and peer over. And, have
start peeking at it. Exactly, right.
I will get shot. No.
Right, exactly. Well, William had been up on top of that hill with a couple of them and they had came back down. It was after they were back down that there were lights on top of the hill. Or it was there were lights on the hill and they went up and looked. I can't remember. Because Levi, I got tickled at him. He was like, how did he get up there with those people? I don't remember who he had with him, but I said, William goes everywhere. He knows every goat trail out there. He'll just take off and go, but I can't remember if they went to look at the lights or if the lights showed up after they came back down, because they were.
So there were two different incidents. And that was the same night?
Yes.
Within a few minutes of each other.
Huh. I think next time, Marianne, what would make me feel better is if everybody had a call sign and everyone had a radio. That way we could do, like check in with each other to find out everyone's location. Because they asked me where my location was and I gave, that exact location. I'm in the big field west of Will's house towards the back. And I asked, what's your location? I got zero answer.
They just wanted to know where you were.
They didn't know. I don't know that they knew how to describe where they
were. Probably.
Well,
so because when you went out of that and you went to the shed, you had gone to the right, but you hadn't gone all the way to the shed. You were still in the field. Chris and Gary had gone to the shed, but they had gone to the left. Mm-hmm. And then William and like I said, whoever he had went up that hill right there by the shed across the road. And then Mike and I don't know, what do we call him? Princess and what were we calling him? What was JC's name? Because we always call Mike Princess. But they were just sitting right there right there in the field, not far from the shed. So that's where everybody was at because everybody else was back in camp that night too. It was just, that's the way that everybody had kind of dispersed. And then Levi just roams. You never.
Yeah. You never know where he is. I get that.
Yeah.
But I just want to say,
the radio.
I just want to point out that evidently Mary has nicknames for people and now I'm just wondering what yours and mine is, David. What's ours?
Shane, you know what yours is.
Aren't you Bacon?
Yeah, he's Bacon.
You're Bacon?
He's Bacon.
It's a long story.
It's a very long
story. I'm just grateful I'm not Bacon.
Well, you weren't threatening to lick people in the woods if they had bacon. So
you're right. I was not threatening to lick people, Shane.
It was a conversation about bacon grease, my lord.
It was, we were threatening to put bacon grease on us and go to the woods, you know.
Okay.
So, you know, things just.
But I do
evolved
love
from there.
bacon. I'll just leave that there. Absolutely love bacon.
Absolutely.
Boy, I can't be a
God.
vegetarian because I love steak and bacon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Absolutely.
together,
Absolutely.
separate, I don't care.
Yep. Together.
So I
Wrapped
hear
together.
you're coming back soon, David.
I am. I'm gonna be back there Tuesday, actually,
Yes.
Woohoo!
to get to go out again. Are you gonna be there?
Me?
I am not, unfortunately.
No.
I would like to, but work has got me ball and chained right now.
Mm,
Gotcha.
Yeah, because our favorite friend Levi is going to take us to that location we can't talk about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is that good or bad?
Guess
Okay,
you'll have to wait and see.
that's thank you.
Depends on whether you get probed or not.
Yeah, right.
right. Will there be probing?
To be clear,
then-
I'm
and
only
then
looking for
that's-
big, giant, hairy things, and no.
And then afterwards, it's your decision whether it was good or not.
Right.
Right.
We'll check in with you when we're done to see if it was okay.
So, how do you feel?
No, I'm kind of bummed I'm missing this one because I know where you guys are going, and because Mary's been there before, and I know what's happened there before. So this is one of those places that I do want to go. So like next trip down there, I will like try to make it a point to go.
Yeah, and we've
So,
had a lot of
This one is just tough for me. I'm out of town this weekend. I actually leave in the morning for Kansas City,
Ooh.
and then got to get right back here Sunday and go back to work and working overtime and crap. So I'm just too busy at the moment.
yeah. Well, this is the last one of the year, so and we pushed it off to Halloween weekend to see if we get anything different. You know,
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong in a place you're not supposed to be over Halloween weekend, right?
Nothing at all.
Making weird phone calls.
With
Levi.
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 sorry.
Nothing.
And Levi's mother's coming.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. We get to meet the mother.
Wow. Okay.
She's a very nice lady when I spoke with her. And she's super excited that he's found his own little tribe of weirdos to associate with. So
Tribe of
Yeah.
weirdos. That's where I've made it to. That's
Welcome.
that's fantastic.
welcome.
One of us. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
You have your t-shirt, right? You got
Yeah.
your t-shirt?
You got your official, I'm one of the weirdo tribe, you know.
I'm with weirdo.
Here's your cult card.
Oh, that's a good idea. We should start making official, cult cards.
with our website and
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. All the good things. Exactly. All the good
Okay.
things.
Dog is
But
back.
yeah. This area that we're going to, David, though, we have had consistent things happen over the years. We've been there multiple times. The campground that we stay at, they have come through the campground before. They found tracks behind one year we had a young boy there, and the next morning there were tracks behind his tent. One of the gentlemen that used to actually live in this little campground, he said when he would go out to cook and grill that he could see him in the tree line when he was cooking steaks. So they're in the
Right.
campground, but the
Right.
area, that part of the country over there, there's all kinds of stuff. There's just all kinds of stuff.
Are there weird
So-
people that live in the woods?
Yes. Oh, yes.
In the Ozarks, there's always weird people that live in the
Always
woods.
weird. I mean,
Okay.
we were
Yep.
the weird people that lived in the woods. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
that was what my mother aspired to be, the weird lady that lived in the woods. And you've been to that house, Mary.
I've been to that house. I'd live in that house, but
Yeah,
anyway.
same. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, I'd live in
Maybe
that
not
house.
now, but yeah.
But yeah,
I see
so,
it's going to be a lot colder and it might be rainy a little bit too.
possibly
Mhm.
Wednesday a little bit. I've been watching it. Everything else looks like it, that's about the only day night, whatever, that we could have some. But yeah, it is definitely going to cool off. So it's going to be substantially cooler. But that's not a bad thing. It's cooler, but the leaves haven't fallen.
No tick.
So we still have a lot of cover. We're doing this about 2 weeks later than we normally do. I wanted to try and see if we got the same kind of activity a couple of weeks later, because normally we were going out around the 15th of the month. And so we've pushed it back a couple of weeks. But there is a sandbar that we go down to that over the years, they have thermed them across the river. And a couple of years ago, we were all sitting out on the sandbar and we're in our chairs and we're just watching that hillside. We're just really enthralled, right? And we get to watching the stars come up. There were some strange lights, and Richard kind of gets up and starts moving around. And it's like when Richard starts moving around, you pay attention, right? And he caught it. It's the head and the shoulders. Shane's seen it too. He's got a head and shoulders running from us. It got about 20 feet behind us and we never heard it.
Yeah, you can actually see like the down to almost the small of the back at one point. It's probably his best thermal in my opinion.
Yep, it is.
That he's captured.
Yep, it is. And it wasn't 20 feet from us because we were on the gravel bar and it came right up to the edge of the trees that were growing. And these weren't real big ones because it's on the edge of the river. And it was right in behind us. I mean, it snuck right in. We didn't hear it, and we're all just oohing and on over the stars and everything else, watching the other side where they normally have been seen, right? And this one sneaks in within 20 feet of us. And Richard caught it, a little bit of it as it ran out, So, and we went in and looked the next day and where it had came in, and I've been paying attention to Shane, so I'm in there crawling around looking, and there's a whole area of the grass that's matted down, and it has on top of it sand, like it's fallen out of its hair or something, but it's on top of the matted down grass, and so that was about the only thing. It was so thick in there, you couldn't really go in after it too much without, being torn up with all the sticker bushes and things like that. But
good thing I wasn't there because I would have tore through that stuff. Oh gosh.
Yeah. You'd have been, yeah. He one day pulls me, we're getting ready to leave this private area one day. And he's like, come here, I want to show you something. So it's the two of us. We're not dressed to do what he's wanting to do. He's like, you see that right there? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, we need to go in there. And I said, we're not dressed. And, I'm looking at that thinking, I don't think we have enough guns with us to go in there.
What do you need guns for?
No protection, no firepower.
From what?
From, I don't know what was in there.
From whatever was in there.
Yeah. Shane's like,
big cats? Are there big cats?
I carry my gun to defend myself from meth heads.
I don't think there were any meth heads in
Valid.
that hole.
The random lost meth head in the woods.
Number one.
Yeah.
Like a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's the only reason you carry the guns. But that hole was so dark. I'm like, Shane, we don't have, I said, I'll tie a rope on you, but I don't have a rope. But I'm not, he's like, well, we kept looking at, I'm like, no, we're getting ready to leave. We're getting ready.
Going in, Mary.
Yeah. Hold my beer. Watch this. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Call this number if we don't come back.
But that's why Shane and I can't be left alone in the woods, because we do stupid things. When we're unsupervised, we do stupid things.
Yeah.
So anyhow.
That's why I like doing a lot of stuff alone, because I have no supervision. I have no one to talk sense into me, and that's the way I like it.
Right, exactly.
Well, most days I won't talk sense into him, but we had significant others waiting for us. You know,
You
wasn't
already
like
know it
was
may not
just-
be a good idea, but you don't have anybody else to tell you that.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I feel like she's like, I don't think that's a good idea, but it may be fun watching what happens when he does it.
That's it. Exactly.
And then she's like, yes, you should.
go for that. I'm going to sit here and
would that
video
be-
it while
would
you
that
do
be
this,
a-
right?
Why don't you go ahead and I'll
Yeah, yeah.
see if I want to join.
Yeah, that's it. That's it sometimes, you know. Yeah, or he'll say, here, cover me with this therm as I go into the woods because I don't know what that is.
It makes sense though.
Well, it's not like she's going to be able to help me with the thermal, but
No.
at least it'll all be on video, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We know where to go.
And I think that's the night that Tara decided that both of us were nuts at that point. If she didn't already know, bless her heart, that was the first Bigfoot outing we ever took her on. And I think she's decided that Shane and I both were nuts at that point because he's running through the woods, you know, and I'm like filming him, you know, and she's probably like, they're nuts. I'm not doing this ever again. There's something wrong with those two. But
I was just minutes behind a bear.
yeah, a bear.
Thank God.
Well, we had
I'm going to be
footage.
happy to find a bear feature.
Well, we have found a bear. We have found bears.
I want
nights in a
some bear
row.
tracks or Bigfoot tracks. I want something to play with.
Okay, you said it.
That's a track.
That's yeah, you can be more specific there.
Yes,
Right.
it needs to be a track.
It needs to be a track.
Yeah.
Good.
We're
All right,
doing
guys. Well,
everything
we're
else
coming
along.
up on our hour here. So thank you so much for coming and sharing with us tonight, you know, of the things that we got to do on our camp out and conference. And, you know, we'll have more things to share going forward. But like I said,
We'll
thanks
have
so
to do
much.
another live to talk about your Halloween.
We bring
fun.
David and Levi on because,
Right, yeah.
you know, David can't breathe when Levi starts rolling all that out, you know. That's what he does right there.
Hey, I like him, okay? I really like the guy.
Oh, we do too. We love him. He's great.
Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah, he's
I'm
a
still
lot of
waiting on my
fun.
hat.
Oh, yeah, I forget to wear my hat. He gave me what did he give me? What did he give me? What is it called?
Your
The
hat.
hat.
It's the one that I could put like my phone in and nothing would get to it.
I don't know. Your
have a
Faraday
hat?
hat.
Faraday hat.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's it.
a Faraday hat? You're talking about a tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
It's not tinfoil.
But yes.
It has that Faraday cloth on it.
Right. Right.
Oh my God.
Got that
Yeah, and
tinfoil
it's
feel.
pointed. It's pointed. I'm
Of
gonna have to
course
wear
it
it on the.
is.
I'm gonna have to wear it on the show one night, right?
We gotta have a funny hat night. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
There we go. That's that. We'll have to do that when we come back. Funny hat night. All right, guys. I think we've had enough.
All
so
right.
thanks for coming on, guys.
It was good to see you again.
It's good to see you. See you in a few days, David.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah, David, I'll be reaching out to you sometime after next week. Let you get this trip in and stuff, and I got a busy week ahead of me, and things will slow down, and I'll reach out and we'll catch up, buddy.
All right. Good deal.
All right,
Awesome.
guys. Thanks for being with us tonight, and we'll see
Yeah.
you soon.
All
Bye,
right.
y'all.
And show me your Bigfoot.